Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
All right, we're here. We're back. Episode 2 of Universal Soldier.
Yeah, dude.
We've set everything up. It's off to the races. It is go time.
I want to tell the folks what you're drinking tonight.
I am drinking a boxed wine from the Black Box Vineyards. I don't know. It's
do they make their own wine? Like
I have no idea.
It is the typical black box wine, though.
It is a
4 bottles in one.
Box wine is a thing now, man. Everybody loves box wine now.
You know, glass and cork is pricey.
Yes, it is. And plastic bag and cardboard box, not so pricey.
Not so much. And the stuff inside can be just as good.
I mean, I drink this
all the time,
twist off
actually. Wines, super respectable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially like certain places like New Zealand, they don't even let you do cork anymore.
Oh, really?
In New Zealand, yeah.
Is it like an environmental concern
thing?
Yeah,
it's like they figure like a twist off is more renewable, and it's not affecting the quality of what's inside.
And I think most vineyards agree, too, because a twist off is cheaper than a cork anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And they've sort of realized that most people aren't keeping wine in a wine, like cellar for 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
They're buying it and they're going to drink it that night.
Yes.
And so if you're not trying to preserve it for over a decade, then you don't need a cork. You really don't. You need a screw cap. And so I'm grateful for it.
Well, I am sipping on some Eagle Rare single barrel from our wonderful Atlanta liquor store, Tower Beer, Wine, and Spirits.
Tower's a great one.
Yeah, shout out to Tower.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we got to get a sponsorship going.
Yeah,
I want somebody to pay for my habit.
We should reach out to it. We can give a plug to Tower Liquor and Wine.
But we're back to talk a little bit more about Universal Soldier. I will try to catch us up on the plot.
Sum us up.
Is actually like a lot happened in the first episode, like to be caught up on. So we've got these two characters who do have names, but we just call them Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. They were in Vietnam together, right? Lundgren snapped. He massacred a village and killed a bunch of soldiers and was trying to get Van Damme's character to kill villagers as well, and he refused. They got into it in Vietnam. They had a little fight. They killed each other, and then some shadowy army types came in and said, "Put these bodies on ice. We got a code Zebra," or whatever it was.
Yeah, I believe Zebra was it.
So then we cut to, I guess, 20 to 25 years later. Van Damme and Lundgren are still apparently very much alive. They haven't aged at all. They're like these super soldiers working for the shadowy government group or army. I don't know who it is.
It's never really explained.
Yeah, they don't give us a lot.
Yeah,
they're these sort of almost android-like commandos that can do superhuman things. They can swim faster than people run. They can run down the face of the Hoover Dam. They are all expert marksmen. They wear these awesome futuristic fatigues and all that with the headsets, and they're being controlled from this space station tractor trailer or whatever, being led by a shady army guy named Colonel Perry. And they've just stopped a terror attack at the Hoover Dam, but it seems like Van Damme's character is sort of having flashbacks to Nam.
That's right.
And realizing that this guy, Dolph Lundgren's a bad guy.
Yep.
And that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we cut to a short time later, and Colonel Perry is briefing the media. He's talking to the press about how this was the third successful mission of the Universal Soldiers without any casualties.
That is
drink.
Someone said the title of the movie.
Everybody take a drink.
No one said it in Kindergarten Cop.
No.
Yeah, and that's also your cue if you were watching the movie and you wanted to quit watching.
Yeah.
Like someone said the title out loud, you can quit.
You can quit.
If
Right.
you feel like it. That's the rules.
Yep.
That's the 6 degree
Yep.
rules. But this movie's pretty rad, so I'll give it a pass.
Yeah.
I thought, well, how do they expect to get away with this? Like there was a lot of witnesses that saw there be a casualty,
Right.
right?
Yeah. All of the hostages saw that there was a casualty.
Unless you're like got some Men in Black, memory wiping technology that you're not showing us. Yeah,
I mean, look, if they can bring back necrotic flesh and bring life back to these dead soldiers, and I see no reason why they can't also have the memory wipe technology.
sure.
Anyway, he goes, as for the identities of the Unisols, that remains classified. These men have families, which is, okay, yeah,
That's
obviously they
a
don't, so
bald-faced
this is
lie.
clearly a lie.
How do you feel about the phrase Unisol?
Unisol, I
don't love it.
I don't, it sounds like a cleaning product. It sounds like I was having trouble getting the stains out of my clothes until I found Unisol.
It's either something that helps you like sleep at night.
Or that, right,
It's a
exactly.
sleep aid.
Yeah.
Or it's
Compare
both.
Unisol to the other leading brands of sleep aids.
You can clean your bathroom and take a big drink
That's right.
before bed.
I love the idea of the guy putting the thing in the mop, right? Like, Unisol, what
He
a magic
wrings
cure.
it
And then
out
he rings it
into-
out into a glass and drinks it. Now I'm ready for bed.
Shit.
Yes, I agree. Unisol it seems like they thought it was cool to create a portmanteau like that, but they should have just not called them Universal
Yeah,
Soldiers.
they're the Universal Soldiers. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I like. That's what I'm sticking with.
Anyway, the reporters are pissed that they can't get any pictures of the Universal Soldiers. And while the other reporters, the sheep, the cattle, don't see what's really going on, Veronica smells some bullshit.
Absolutely.
And of course, she's got a cigarette in her hand. So if you're playing the game, at this point, she has been fired.
Yeah, she's fired.
Right. But her cameraman is still hanging out with her. So clearly they are friends outside of the scope of work.
Well, I'm like, what is she even doing here?
I have no idea. The only thing that I could, and we love to steel man on this podcast, so I'm going to steel man for a little bit
Okay.
here. I suspect this isn't the first time she's been fired by a producer.
Oh, okay.
But she's such a crack investigative reporter that she always finds some scoop, and they can't help but rehire her. She's too valuable.
too damn good.
Right. And so they transfer the producer. She'll get a new producer, and she's back off to the races.
Okay.
And so I think that she's smelling the story that's going to get her back into the good graces. Like that's the way I was steel manning this.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Okay. So the cameraman is absolutely dismayed that she has a new idea, but of course he goes along with it because that's just how it works.
Well, that's what also is crazy because as far as he is concerned, she's been fired.
right.
So it's like, I'm not. What am I going to?
Yeah, I'm not getting paid
Going
to
off
do
with
this.
you to do
Yeah.
some dangerous
Right.
shit.
I am concerned that this guy, because she's a good-looking woman. There's no question about it. This Ali, what was her name?
Ally Walker?
Ally Walker is a very good-looking woman.
Yeah.
And this guy was clearly trying to get it in. There's no doubt.
She's probably cost a lot of people their career.
Exactly. And so she is just stringing him along. Maybe she doesn't even realize that she's doing it, but this guy is clearly.
Oh, you think she's like dangling the carrot in front of him?
I don't know
like,
that she's even intentionally doing that. I think that he's in love with her.
Okay.
Right? And like she's not necessarily, she's just her. But he's like, one of these days she's going to realize I'm here.
We've
you
all
know?
been that hopeless guy
the
before.
hopeless. I think he's just a hopeless guy.
Okay.
So anyway, the military guys leave and they hop in her station wagon and they follow them back to the airstrip to where that cargo plane landed. And that big rig is parked there, right?
Dude's freaking out.
Yeah.
The camera guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think they're doing anything illegal.
No, at this point, it's a public airstrip.
It's not a military base.
Right, they didn't have to cross any checkpoints. This is a public airstrip.
Yeah,
right.
like they didn't scale the barbed wire fence or anything.
Yeah, right,
He's-
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So they get the camera guy gets out his camera and he starts shooting footage. Perry exits the big truck, or he gets into. I'm sorry. Camera guy brings out his camera and he starts shooting video as Perry enters into the big giant sci-fi truck.
Yes,
Right,
the
so-
sci-fi truck.
Right, so we cut inside, and the Unisols are all asleep in a row of reclining chairs in like this super chilled glass chamber, and they're all
Yeah.
shirtless.
One of the scientists was saying it was 60 sub-zero,
Right,
which is
60
that sounds like written by someone who English was not the first language.
Yeah.
Like
Also,
60 degrees below or
below
minus 60.
Yeah, and is this Fahrenheit
67.
or is this Celsius? Like
Absolute zero.
Yeah, right, exactly. Couldn't be Kelvin because Kelvin doesn't go negative, but we can, you know.
The physiques on the dudes.
Dude, I was just
insane.
about to say all of their pecs were bigger than their heads. Like
It was
every
crazy.
single one
All
of them.
the guys. I liked that they kept the continuity of like Lundgren and Van Damme had their Vietnam War wounds.
Yeah,
stuff.
I did. I like that too.
Lundgren had a big scar where he'd been stabbed,
Yep.
and then Van
Yeah,
Damme
they
had
had all
like
the bullet holes.
wounds on his
Yep.
chest. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. It was a nice little attention to detail. So the two scientists, Woodward and Garth, they're explaining to Perry that JCVD, he glitched out at the end of the mission, which is not supposed to happen.
That was the first reference they made about them overheating.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
a subtle like.
They're laying the Chekhov's heat wave into the story.
Yeah,
as we
because that
speak.
becomes like a big thing later
It's a
on.
big, major driving factor in the story. But the Colonel Perry asks why Jean-Claude, why he was so unresponsive. And without like missing a beat, JCVD goes, innocent. The village was cleared. The girl was innocent, Sarge. And everybody looks over at him.
Yeah.
The scientists are very confused. And the lead scientist, Woodward, he goes like, hey, we should just pull Jean-Claude out of the commission until we can figure out what's wrong with him, which is, the logical
No
thing to do.
fucking shit.
Right?
Of course, that's what you should
Hey,
do.
right, you're doing the smart thing. But no, of course not. The movie wouldn't happen were it not for the stupidity
People
of
are
the
making-
people involved.
People were making good decisions.
Right, exactly. Perry says that that's not going to happen, and he just says, give him more of the serum, quote unquote, which it's like there's some hand wavy description of what this is over the course of the movie, but it really is sort of
It's the miracle
it's
drug.
a miracle drug.
It can
right.
do whatever.
We
is
need it
convenient
to
for the plot right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's the plot drug. So the scientists, I love that they have no scruples.
Okay.
They look at each other and go, "Oh, if he says so."
Like I get that this is a movie.
Yeah.
So people have to do whatever they got to do to keep the plot moving along.
Yeah.
But this is just that's a hard sell for me.
I just in my mind, the inner monologue of these guys is like, well, I've done my due diligence. Like they're
Yeah.
just looking at the corporate angle. They know this is going to go to shit. And they just want to make sure that they've done a CYA so that it's like, I told him we should take him out of the rotation.
It's like it doesn't make sense that any one of these people would like invite a major disaster.
Oh, yeah.
like this,
Right.
you know?
No,
Later
no.
on, they're gonna tell us that they basically the Universal Soldiers are like cost $250 million a
we
piece.
can't afford to lose them.
It's like
Yeah.
you're not gonna just if you had a plane that was like had a bad oil leak, and your guy's like fly it anyway. It's like no, you fix
not
the
gonna
thing. You don't
fucking
do
do
that.
that.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Right. But again, we need the movie to happen. So
Yeah, it's
Colonel
gotta
Perry
happen.
is insane. So after the scientists shrug and acknowledge their due diligence, they order a new memory clearance on the Universal Soldiers, and they all get an injection in the back of their necks.
Yeah.
And I thought that this was interesting. Like they give the orders to the soldiers, and they actually administer
Yeah,
their
no.
own injections.
That's crazy.
which I thought was like
That's crazy. That
you-
they
I don't
control
feel
their
like-
own injections
right.
is
I
crazy.
feel like you should not create that unnecessary
optional,
variable. Right.
right?
Exactly.
Do you think they wipe the memory after every mission? Like, do they have no recollection of?
I've got to believe it's like a Winter Soldier
They
scenario.
like break them out of
Yeah.
stasis out of the cryo tube or whatever. And
Yeah.
they have no recollection of who they are or what's happened before
I've
this.
got to believe that was the way I took it.
Okay.
It's just like they
I
wake
agree.
them up for a mission, do the mission, put them back on ice, wipe their memories again. Exactly the thing that like they did
Yeah.
in the Winter Soldier later. So outside of the truck, Veronica's complaining that she can't see anything from where they're parked, and she wants to get out and take a closer look. Her cameraman guy is like, no, what you can't do this. This is insane. Don't do this. But of course, she's gonna do it.
You cannot stress firmly enough. She doesn't work for the network anymore. She's just doing this.
Right.
I think the cameraman's going along because he's just trying to get some.
I'm
He's
telling
like-
you, man. He's just trying to get some.
He's in her web. He's caught in her web.
So back inside the trailer, they're instructing Jean-Claude that, look, you were just confused earlier, and you always have to follow orders. So then we cut back to Veronica.
I like
She's
that.
like,
It's just,
"Oh, okay."
That's good enough for Perry.
Yeah.
And Woodward's like, okay, whatever you say, boss.
Yeah.
Like,
If you say so.
Sounds good to me.
So Veronica creeps up close to the cargo plane, and she sees scientists loading in the bullet-ridden Ralph Mueller into a cryo chamber. Right.
Yeah. Dude, Garth, the scientist Garth, was doing all that bloody work with no fucking gloves on.
No, I mean, he was just
It's
bare hand,
crazy.
had his hand up this guy's
These dudes'
guts.
blood is probably like radioactive.
Oh,
you
I don't
know
even
what
want
I
to
mean?
think about what kind
Like-
of weird shit is in his blood. So after he pulls his ungloved hand out of the guts of Ralph Muller, he wanders off in search of a doctor, at which point Veronica sneaks up to the chamber. Garth closes it on his way out, by the way. So she walks up to it and she opens it back up and she's like, yeah, right, there's no casualties, right? Because she sees a dead dude in a coffin.
Right.
Inside the truck, though, they're prepping a tank of liquid for Ralph Muller. So it's like a back-to-tank from Star Wars or something.
It was a straight up back to tank.
Yeah, it was straight up a back-to-tank.
Like Luke was next in the next one over.
Oh, yeah. Definitely
getting healed
recovering
up
from
or
the...
whatever.
Yeah. So Woodward then radios for Ralph to be brought into the truck. Then we cut. There's a lot of intercutting in this whole
There was also
sequence.
a weird thing that the character of Woodward's lab coats like has a patch that says Haynes on it. And there's a few references to someone calling for Dr. Haynes. And I'm like,
weird.
is Woodward like the dude's first name? Is he Woodward Haynes? I don't think so.
I mean, I wish it was. That's a badass name. I wish I was
that's
named
like
Woodward
very like
Haynes.
waspy, very New England.
Yeah.
But I feel like they might have maybe they either changed the character's name after they had made the costumes.
Yeah.
Or they consolidated two characters into fewer characters because there were too many damn characters.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did
Either
that.
way.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely he's wearing a patch that says Haynes, but everyone only calls him Woodward.
I mean, I'm ready to go with the idea that it's Woodward Haynes and he's just one of these guys like, no.
He was a snooty like fraternity guy
Right,
from
exactly.
Animal House.
Yeah,
or
it's like
something.
I prefer to be called by my first name,
Woodward
Woodward.
of
please.
the Vermont Hayneses.
I'm in line to inherit the Haynes dynasty of
Exactly.
underwear.
Yeah.
So we're cut back to Veronica. She's snapping photos of Ralph, and he suddenly opens his eyes. She's like freaks out, back away.
No
And
fucking
then-
shit.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good movie moment. Like
Yeah,
a pretty
yeah,
good,
yeah.
shocking. Like holy shit.
Ralph like sits up inside the chamber, and then like alarms start blaring when they see Veronica on the surveillance cameras, and they like send goons after her. So she runs back to the car. Her cameraman is still in a state of panic. I feel like that this is just his basic being. He throws the door open. She hops in. He starts the car. She gets into the passenger seat. And he's like, "What did you get?" And she's like, "Redemption." See, this is why I'm steel manning it.
Yeah.
Like she's always on the hunt for the next story that's
She's
going
got
to
the
get her.
the old school roll of
Yeah,
film.
exactly. He speeds away, but then they've got military goons on them, and they're in like an SUV. Very quickly, the just like the camera guy is just immediately plows the car into something. They haven't driven more than like 100 yards, and just like boom.
That's maybe my favorite moment in the movie because I laugh so loud like every time.
You think
it's
that
so
there's gonna be-
unintentionally hilarious.
Right, you think there's gonna be a car chase? It's like nope, boom, done.
Well, he's like speeding, and then he's just speeding, and she's like, "Look out!" And he drives right into like a building. What the fuck? That's the worst driving I've ever seen in a
Oh my
movie. I
God.
think it's crazy.
So obviously they don't get away. Jean-Claude and Dolph and a bunch of others they pile out of their SUVs and they approach the car. And I love like unnecessary quips in this era of movies. So Veronica goes, "You think we lost them?"
That was pretty good.
So
I like her. She's sassy.
yeah, but I mean it's just like she could definitely keep her cool because if I were being chased by these strange zombie soldiers and a military clearly conspiracy, my car just rolled, I probably have a concussion. Like
Yeah.
I'm not that witty. I'm not quippy in that moment. But by God, she pulls it off.
Well, is it how weird is it they sent the malfunctioning soldier Van Damme on this mission?
Right.
You got a
Immediately.
truckload of these guys. You're like, no, we're going to send the malfunctioning one out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we just saw 3 of them manage to put that the terrorist attack down like single-handedly.
Uh-huh.
This is just like a couple of reporters.
Right,
I thought
exactly.
you could send one.
I mean,
to
you could have
handle
just sent a scientist. You didn't need to send any of them, quite frankly.
You send that computer dweeb from before.
Yeah, right. Just like, you need to come with me.
Free suckers.
I have a gun and I know how to use it. So Jean-Claude pulls Veronica out of the car, and then Dolph grabs the camera guy, and they force them on their knees, and like while they're waiting instructions from the truck.
Which is a very familiar situation. It's like back in the the village in Nam or whatever.
That's exactly right. Veronica says, "I want to talk to whoever's in charge." Classic move. Does that ever work? Like, I want the movies like I want to talk to someone in charge. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, hold on. Let me go get Steve. I had no idea. Like,
I want to talk to the manager.
Yeah, I was like, oh, manager. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't have any say here. At this point, Perry orders them to find the film and bring the captives back to the truck. And then Dolph demands a film, but Veronica plays completely dumb
what
about it.
film?
Yeah, right, exactly. Lundgren pulls out his pistol and points it at Veronica. The cameraman gets between them and tries to shield her. And bad move because Lundgren actually does kill the cameraman. Like,
There's another brutal headshot.
Another headshot, y'all. Another headshot. The guys in the truck are like, oh my God, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? This is shot in exactly the same way that they shot the Vietnam scene, which not surprisingly triggers JCVD's long latent post-traumatic stress syndrome, and he starts freaking out.
Is another like really effective movie moment, like with the history repeating itself. And I think they cut the old footage in. Like the flashback footage.
Do.
Yeah, it was just great.
So it was a good scene, a good moment. You understood what was going on. Jean-Claude kicks the gun out of Lundgren's hand, just like he did in the original thing.
It's great.
Slugs him in the face. He picks up Veronica and he runs off with her, sort of reenacting the past, right? Like
it's borderline like Terminator shit.
Yeah.
Like he could have said, "Come with me if you want to live."
He throws her into a military SUV. At this point, Perry orders the other Universal soldiers to stop them and kill them if necessary.
This is just all blown up in Perry's face.
Oh, yeah, just like instantly.
The most predictable of outcomes, right?
I know. I mean, the best part is, like, some movies, it's like, oh, he'll be fine. And then it's like it sets off a ticking clock for when the bad shit happens.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This one is just like, oh, he'll be fine. And then 2 minutes later, nope, it's not fine.
And I feel like they probably want to, like, capture and repair Van Damme if possible, but I think like killing Veronica is a must. Like that's an imperative
at this
right
point,
now, right?
Yeah, at this point like, they don't. There's not. Yeah.
She cannot live to tell this story.
Well, the other Universal soldiers kill them if necessary as open fire on the SUV. But it doesn't stop them while they're fleeing. Colonel Perry like tells Jean-Claude to stop the SUV, and he does. Which is like, it's weird. Like,
even Perry seems surprised.
Right. He's like, oh, wait, he followed the orders. Oh, okay. Veronica's like, drive, you idiot. And then while she's telling him to drive, Perry's like, you need to bring her back. Jean-Claude says that he's confused. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Perry continues to order him to not listen to Veronica until she just finally like grabs his headset and then throws it out of the car door.
It was a nice move.
It was a good move. The only thing that I thought was weird, and it's fine, this isn't a thing with the movie, it was just in my headspace. I thought those things were like bolted onto their heads.
Oh, like attached.
Yeah, and so like when she pulled it off and just threw it to the side, I'm like, wait, you could have done that the whole time? Like, you know, like aren't those likely to fall off, right? Like
that's true with the shit they do. Like they were swimming in the water.
Exactly. So I thought like for sure it was bolted on. So when she just slides it off and throws it to the side, it kind of surprised me for a little bit. Anyway, she tells Jean-Claude to drive, and that, but then he says that he has to follow orders. And she says, you know, fuck this shit. She stomps on the gas, and the SUV speeds off. Dolph is very pissed. Again, another drinking game. There's many shots, like reaction shots from Dolph, where he is looking very pissed.
Yeah. And most of his performance, I feel like in the first half of the movie, is just him, looking pissed off.
Yeah.
Also, if you're here for the Dolph Lundgren content, stick around because he runs wild in the second half of the movie. But for the first half, it's a very one-note performance.
Yeah, but he gets crazy.
He gets crazy. Yeah, it's awesome.
But anyway, he stands up. He's looking super pissed, and he goes, "Traitor." Now, I want to call out a continuity thing here. He didn't have his headset on.
Dolph didn't?
No, he didn't. He was just his full regular face. And
You
I
think
was
that
like,
was like a pickup later on?
it must have been a pickup or something because like he did not take the headset off.
Yeah,
in
we
the
didn't see
earlier
that for
scene.
sure.
Right.
Wait, did he got slugged in the face?
Oh, there
Maybe it came
is.
off
It
him.
must have come off when he got slugged in the face. There might have been like a quick shot.
Yeah, that could be.
Okay,
I didn't even notice it.
I'll give you that. Okay, so back to the movie.
Flawless film.
Yeah, it's just
flawless filming.
no
Continuity
holes.
department killed it.
Nailed it. Script supervisor, Academy Award. So Van
What if
Damme.
that was an award? Best continuity.
I mean, why not? Like,
Who
I
can
don't
go
know.
for the best continuity?
who can hit the best continuity?
So we're gonna do one shot, one take the whole movie. That's how we nailed it.
Look, in this day and age, when people can freeze frame, rewind, everything is in 4K, continuity matters more than ever, man.
Yeah, true.
So anyway, so Van Damme and Veronica, they're speeding away, and Veronica's got another cigarette, so everybody drink again.
Yes.
And she mourns her dead cameraman. Although, as usual in Hollywood movies, like the mourning is very quick.
Oh, yeah.
you got to get through that shit. Like you can't dwell on it.
Quick little monologue.
Yeah.
But how many cameramen do you think she's lost?
Oh, too
in
many.
her career.
Too many.
It's like one a year on average.
They're like the Spinal Tap drummers. So she says that she's going to make sure that the military doesn't get away with this.
It was good work from Ally Walker.
Yeah. I mean, again, she is the only character who has any agency in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Van Damme is responding to her directions and is responding to the emergencies that erupt. Dolph is constantly responding to like the antics that Van Damme keeps getting him involved in. She's the only one who's actually driving the narrative at this part of this movie. She really is the star of the movie. I mean, she's the protagonist of the movie, even though Dolph and Van Damme are the actual stars. If
Well,
that
like
makes
they're
sense.
dead / zombified / immortal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she's the only one who can really die. We feel like.
yeah, exactly. She's the only one with stakes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So back at the military big rig, Woodward, the doctor, Woodward Haynes, heir to the Haynes Empire, says that Dolph has to be deactivated because he went haywire and shot the cameraman.
That seems pretty obvious.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Perry's like, nah, he's fine. Don't worry about it.
We need him.
We need him. Yeah, we need him. We don't have like 5 of these other guys.
I was cracking up at the fact that like Ralph Muller had to play this whole scene in the back to tank in the background.
Yeah,
Like, that's tough, man. But I also noticed when they were talking about Lundgren, he was like Lundgren's character was subtly like glancing at them, like he was listening in on the convo.
Yeah.
Which made me think: do you think he's also fully offline at this point, and is just like pretending like he's still online?
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it would make sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
that
I kind of
moment,
like that idea that he's sort of already broken free
Yeah.
as well of his mental cage or
Yeah.
whatever, but is with it enough to realize I should pretend like I'm still under their control.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be fun. I'm going to go with that because I think that would be fun. I don't know if that they actually intended that or if it was literally just Dolph Lundgren not able to hold. Like,
He was just
resist.
watching the act. He just wanted to watch him.
He just wanted to watch the scene. Right. It's not clear to me what actually was going on, but I do like that, so I'm going to run with it. I want to talk about like the other Universal soldiers. Would they have broken down at some point too? Like,
Yeah.
Or is there something unique about because they were in war together, because they killed each other?
That's a good question. I do feel like, I mean, it's inherently like a broken system. I feel like it probably they all fail eventually.
Yeah.
But it might be that Van Damme and Lundgren were like in a more intense situation at the moment that they died
Yeah.
versus like say you were just sitting there and a mortar blew up by you and you weren't like
Right.
ready for it. Maybe you weren't like your brain wasn't in fight or flight mode at the moment that you died or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm brainstorming.
right.
Making doing the writer's work for them. But yeah, I feel like eventually they were all going to fail or start glitching.
Yeah. I think that's the way I took it as well. So okay, so the heir to the Haynes Empire says that they can't cover up what's happened here.
Yeah.
But Perry is like, oh, no, I got this covered. Don't worry about it. We'll get it figured out. So Perry says that this whole program is being done off the books and it has to stay that way. And he then says to Woodward, like, do you really think for 1 second that those wimps at the Pentagon would allow the regeneration of dead soldiers? American soldiers? Like, the American soldiers really is like what drives it home.
Well,
Who is funding this then?
Yeah, if the Pentagon's not running this, then who is?
Right. Like, where is the funding coming from?
I do feel like it works as a clever way to like have your cake and eat it too. Like, no, the military aren't the bad guys. We love the military.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's some other shadowy group.
Is this like a private military contractor?
Oh,
Are they?
Well-
Yeah.
there was a great. So in the series that we did way back when in the early days of the podcast on the movie Commando,
Mm-hmm.
there's just this vague, like offhand reference to like, I'm going to make contact with the federal people. And I like anytime that I think of a situation like this where it's like unclear who these people are supposed to
It's
be.
the
I'm
federal
just like,
people?
It's the federal people. It's like such lazy writing.
That's
It's like,
hilarious.
Yeah, we don't know who it would be, so it's the federal people. That's like the Men in Black or something. I don't know. They're just the federal people.
I love too that you could just say the feds,
Yeah.
but no, you have to
The
go
federal.
the federal people.
Well, the thing is, no one likes the government, right?
Right,
So, like, we
right.
love the troops. We hate
Right,
the government.
right,
so
right,
it's
right,
easy
right.
just to pin it on, no, some shadowy government organization is
the,
doing this
the
shit.
deep state, if you will.
Yes.
So Woodward says, like, look, I'm out. I'm done. I want to quit. And Perry says, like, we're all going to go to jail if we find out. So what are you going to do?
That seems doubtful to me.
I mean, they're all.
I see where the Army would want to try to cover this up. I don't understand, though, why Perry would continue like to insist on using the Universal Soldiers,
Right.
even though they're clearly malfunctioning. I don't understand Colonel Perry's motivations
No.
throughout the movie, to be honest. Like, I guess you need a character like that to keep the plot moving along.
Yeah.
But like, if he had deactivated Van Damme after the Hoover Dam, like you got no movie, right? But
I mean, like they could have done it with one line of dialogue, like I don't work for the government, and the people I
Yeah.
do work for will have my head if I don't follow through, or something like
'cause
that.
he acts like the Universal Soldier program is his baby,
Right.
but I don't think that's the case.
No, I think he's just some stooge who got put in charge of
right?
it.
Like, I don't think he didn't invent the science.
Right. No, absolutely
Like, he's
not.
just the guy that was given this assignment. I
right.
think.
And so, like, why he's got such a personal interest in it is unclear.
At this point, maybe it's just like now I'm trying to cover my ass because I should have pulled the plug earlier.
Yeah.
And now they blew up in my face. So now I got to cover it up. But
Right.
he's this whole time he's been acting like he's got like a personal stake and like it's good for me. I mean, of course it's good for him if he does a good job.
Right.
But I don't think anyone's going to be mad at him because the science isn't working.
I love the idea that the reason he's got a personal stake in it is because his son is one of the soldiers on ICE.
Oh shit.
And if this program proves successful and they expand it,
Sure.
then he'll be able to get his son off ICE, and in this weird,
Absolutely.
perverse way, he'll get his kid back, right?
Okay.
And so that's the motivation that I'm gonna put
It's like
on
too
him.
big to fail.
It's too big to fail because it's the only way I'll get my kid back.
Let's do it. We want the Colonel Perry prequel.
Right, exactly. Universal Soldier: The Origins. I just created more of a arc for this character than he had. I feel like,
Absolutely, dude.
but I'm there for it. I love it. So back in the SUV, Veronica wants to know why Van Damme helped her out, and he mutters that his tour is over and he just wants to go home.
That's the same shit he was saying like back
Right,
in Nam.
and they explain like and it's good. This is foreshadowing things that actually come to fruition later on.
yeah. No, it's a well crafted like
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It was thought out. It
The
was
dialogue makes sense.
Yeah, it's not arbitrary.
It is a lot of that like you set something up and then you pay it
You
off.
pay it off. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So he says he can't go home though until he knows that she's safe. And it's about this point that Veronica notices that Van Damme has been shot in the getaway. She says that, look, we got to stop. You're bleeding. At which point he just grabs the car lighter and he cauterizes the wound and he says the bleeding has stopped. Now, there's a couple things that I want to pause here for. Car lighter. I love it.
Do kids today know about car
I don't
lighters?
think that they do, right? I mean, maybe if they watch movies from this
People
era.
used to smoke cigarettes.
Right.
And you had like a weird little lighter and that was
Yeah.
standard in your car.
Yeah, that's right.
Because so many people were smokers. I guess
So
and
many
every
people.
car needed a lighter built
Yep,
into it.
absolutely.
A little ashtray.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and around this time too, like, Mulder used to find out that the cigarette smoking man was conspiring with someone because he'd see the cigarettes in the ashtray of some car, right?
What did he smoke?
Morley's.
Morley's.
Yeah,
Yes.
Anyway, the other thing that I want to call out is I love how in Hollywood movies, cauterizing a wound is basically the equivalent of a health pack from video games. Like if you can cauterize the wound, you get your
fine.
HP back.
Forget about all the damage that's internal.
Right, all the internal damage, just cauterize the wound and you're golden. So at the tarmac, though, the big rig like folds up. It's de-accordionifies.
You just invented a new word. I love it.
Right. And they go off to find Van Damme. At this point, we cut back to the SUV and it runs out of gas, which I thought was like, what? That's okay.
How do you let that happen?
I drive my car until I'm burying the needle. So maybe whoever was driving that SUV was doing the same thing.
Maybe he was just trying to get some pussy. Oh, baby, we're out of gas.
Oh, damn. Like little does she know he's the one who put a bullet hole in the gas tank. So he hops out and this is a good moment. She's like, what the hell is she doing? And then all of a sudden the car lurches forward and she looks out the mirror and she sees that he's single-handedly pushing this 4-ton SUV down the road like it was nothing. And then she looks at the speedometer and they're going 30 miles an hour.
That would be like the faster than the fastest sprinter in history.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, to look at someone running 30 miles an hour pushing a vehicle like that, it would look like a cartoon.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Inside they play real fast and loose with temperatures, with speed limits, with time frames. This movie has no concept of statistics, in my opinion. So back in the big rig, they're firing up all their systems to locate the tracking device in Van Damme's body. Scientist Garth tells Perry that he's 7 miles away and they should be able to catch him in 4 minutes. I'm like, wow, they are really hauling ass.
Yeah.
I mean, they must be going like 80 miles an hour if they're going to catch up to him in 4 minutes.
That's probably about right.
Yeah. So at this point, Van Damme pushes the SUV into the parking lot of a small town or a small motel, and it's also got gas pumps. Veronica starts to walk away, but Van Damme stops her.
I noticed for some reason the car is like soaking wet, and Van Damme's clothes are dry. Like it was like they wetted the car down just because it would, I presume, look better on film.
Oh, maybe. I didn't notice that.
But the car
Good
was like,
spot.
it was like the car was covered in water.
Oh, shit. I didn't notice that at all. I'll have to go watch
Van Damme
that
was
again.
sweaty, but the clothes were dry. So it's not like they ran through a rainstorm
That's hilarious.
in Arizona or whatever.
Maybe that's one of the benefits of being a Universal Soldier. You're literally water repellent.
Yeah.
That's the reason they were able to swim 1.5 miles in 4 minutes is because they literally were hovering above the surface of the water. So Veronica says she's about to walk away, and Van Damme stops her and wants to know where she's going. She says, like, I need to make a phone call, and heads into another anachronism in our modern era, a phone booth.
Phone booth.
Which, is like, it's crazy. Van Damme puts his hand on the gas pump, but then he walks away.
What was going on there?
I don't know what that was.
It was like, at first I thought there was a sign on the pump that said like no gas or out of order, but there wasn't.
No, there was no sign.
It just said like gasoline.
Right.
So I'm like, it's as if he knew that there was no gas in the pump.
And I don't know. It was an odd moment,
weird.
but whatever. It was like, in terms of odd moments in this movie, that was low on the scale.
That's true. That's true.
So Van Damme heads to the motel lobby, and there's an old lady. She's just watching her television.
And she was watching some sort of like sex show.
Oh, I didn't notice
You could hear
that.
the sound. It was something about like the 3 F's: fantasy, foreplay, and fun. And I'm like, damn, this is like, I mean, they set the stage. She's a horny old lady.
Yeah, that's right.
It pays off.
Truth. Yeah, it does pay off. Also, I just want to say that I love every moment that this sleazy hotel clerk is in that we're about to meet.
He's good.
He's so good. He's so sleazy.
He's such a sack of shit.
Such a sack of shit. Wow, that was a tongue twister. The actor clearly leaned into this role.
Oh, yeah.
And had a good time playing the sleaziest motel manager you could possibly imagine.
He was like fucking with it, like shooting a cat with a rubber band or something.
The first time we see him, he's shooting a cat with a rubber band. And we don't even see the cat, but we hear sort of like that
the Foley work.
Yeah. Van Damme asks, like, hey, I want to fill up. And the clerk is like, oh, we're not going to get any gas until tomorrow morning. Once he looks up, though, he says this without looking at Van Damme. Then he looks up and he sees Van Damme in like this military getup. And he's like, hey, do you want a room for the night? I love that that's his first reaction. Mm-hmm. We cut to outside, though, and Veronica's like on the phone and it's not working.
Yeah.
And so she hangs it up. And then we cut back to the motel again. And Van Damme is standing there and he's got the bullet hole. He's got blood all over him. He's sweaty as shit. And the motel clerk says like, hey, buddy, you don't look too good. At which point we see that there's this device on JCVD's wrist that starts beeping. and he just tells the clerk, "I need to cool down." So we've been foreshadowed this before at this point,
right.
Like this isn't out of the blue. So Veronica comes in and she's like, "Look, I need a phone." And the clerk is like still pushing this hotel room thing.
Yeah, man.
It's like, "Hey, look, all the rooms have both air conditioning and phones. Seems like you guys could use that."
That dude was doing work.
He was making it.
His name was Robert Trebor.
Okay.
And the only thing I saw that people might know him from was like he was a regular on the Hercules series.
Ooh.
With Sorbo.
Oh, that's good for him. That's a good working gig.
Yeah.
He got to live in New Zealand for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. So elsewhere, the military big rig is heading down the road. Now,
There was mist everywhere for no reason.
yeah, it's also definitely been longer than 4 minutes.
Yeah, it got
Definitely longer than 4 minutes. It parks on the main street. So I guess that this gas station is just outside of...
It was weird. They parked needlessly far away, it seemed.
Right, exactly. It's like, it's not like JCVD and Veronica have any sort of military apparatus to fight back. They're not going to flee very fast. There was no reason for all of this sort of subterfuge.
Yeah.
But anyway, we cut back to the motel room. The clerk is like just nickel and diming them for everything. Eventually, he hands them the key, and she's like, she storms out with Jean-Claude, and they head off over to the room. So they get to the room, they turn on the TV, and she puts on the news, grabs the phone, sits down, and it's a fucking waterbed. I loved it.
That's another, like, I don't know.
waterbed so long.
I've never tried to sleep on a waterbed before. That just cannot be comfortable.
Growing up when I was a kid, I had a waterbed.
Yeah? How was
I
it?
mean, as a kid, I liked it.
Okay.
But you had to constantly keep it heated because water is not.
Oh.
Yeah, so you had to have a heating pad underneath it at all time to keep the.
Is it like a sex thing?
temperature
Is it
up.
like good for sexing on?
I was 8, so I have.
I mean, you wouldn't know, but like, why would anyone want a waterbed?
I am not ashamed to say I have never had sex on a waterbed, so I have no
Probably
insight
never
into
will
this.
at this point.
At this point, no, it's
I don't
not
know if
gonna
you can even
happen.
find a waterbed anymore.
I don't think anybody uses them anymore. I just love the idea, though, that this sleazy motel is
Yeah.
willing to do the upkeep and maintenance on waterbeds.
Waterbeds. All right, sure.
So JC walks up to the AC and starts to strip. Good for him for being from 1968 and knowing how to work an air conditioning in 1992. Cut back to Dolph and the other Universal soldiers, and they're getting off of the truck. Dolph gets his orders, and it's to disable the communications in and out of the town. And so he just immediately looks up at a single telephone pole and shoots it, and that... I guess
Yeah.
the entire telecom infrastructure of this small town was on that one single
yeah.
telephone pole.
Also, like, not very subtle. Like, he's just opening fire.
opening
Like a Desert Eagle is pretty loud.
It's not a quiet gun, no.
But no one seems to have heard it. So, okay.
I think this is a ghost town or something.
I mean, I feel like you would hear that for miles, like a
Yeah.
gunshot.
Oh, yeah. In a desert like that, it's
Yeah.
going to reverberate everywhere. We cut back to the hotel room. Veronica's got phone in hand, and the line suddenly dies. Meanwhile, thank God, we finally got our JCVD butt scene in.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a Van Damme movie without some bare ass.
I mean, look, the guy's got a great ass. Like, there's no question
like, he
about it.
insists on showing it.
Oh yeah, no, it's like good luck keeping his pants on. He insists on his writer that he has a nude scene. So with the phone dead, Veronica turns her attention to the news, and it's reporting that she is in fact wanted for the murder of her cameraman.
Yeah.
And they're saying that the body of the cameraman was found in a hotel room filled with drugs and witnesses that say Veronica shot him, which is interesting because this could be very easily disproven
Yeah.
in like 2 seconds.
Feels like that.
It seems like they should have maybe wait to put that story out, given that they were in control of the cameraman's body. They could put it on ice.
Yeah, true.
They definitely have that infrastructure
True.
to do that until they resolve the situation and then frame her after the fact. But
You're
also, their intention is to kill her, so why bother even going through the effort of framing her?
That's true.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
there's just like all of this unnecessary
It's
machinations
needlessly
going on.
like no one's looking for them yet.
Right, exactly. No one is. They've been gone for what, 6 hours?
Yeah.
For all that her producer knows, they're getting drunk in a bar somewhere.
Dude finally scored.
Yeah, right. Finally, he did it. You know. So, anyway, Veronica sees this, hangs up the dead phone line, and she's like, "I got to get some air." And she walks outside. Very naked Jean-Claude walks out behind her, doing his weird, like, uncomfortable naked walk. I don't know if you've noticed this, but anytime he has to walk around naked and they show his ass, he walks almost like he doesn't have joints, elbows, or knees. It's a very specific
I'll
gait.
have to watch that again.
And I didn't think it was a thing until I watched this, and I'm like, wait, that's exactly the same way he's walked in every other movie that has his butt in it. Anyway, so he walks out after her and saying, hey, you got to come back to the room. At this point, we cut to the motel clerk, and he's calling for his mom, the old lady, to come over and take a look at what's going on.
He's one of these creeps who calls his mom mother.
Yeah,
Mother? You
yeah.
must come look at this, mother.
So Veronica's shocked when she turns around and sees Jean-Claude totally naked. She asks where his clothes are, and he says that he has to cool down again. At this point, he collapses in the parking lot.
He's given us everything but like dick and balls.
Oh, I know.
Dude, I feel like I can see his hole in this shot, man.
There's not left to the imagination. I will give you to you. There's very little less. Impressively a hairless man, though.
Yeah, he's got to be
Remarkably
waxed
hairless.
down, dude, or he's just
Waxed
European.
to the crack. So he's collapsed on the parking lot. We somehow haven't seen his dick and balls, even against all odds. She runs up. Says, oh my God, you're burning up, when she feels his forehead. He stutters that he needs to be cooled down again, like he needs ice. The clerk's horny mother is watching this and is just like really getting off on it. They're really enjoying this.
That's got to be the best laugh of the movie, was that face the old lady was
I
making.
literally, when I saw that face, I wrote in my notes, shame on you, because it was so great.
That's the dude's like, shame on you.
Yeah.
That was nice. The old lady is named Donna Hardy. She lived to be 98 years old.
Oh,
God
my
bless
God.
her. She was in When Harry Met Sally. She was like one of the old couples, like doing the interview.
That's cool. That's cool.
And she was like the foul-mouthed Mrs. McArdle in The Running Man,
really
talking to like one of the people watching the show be taped and
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
host or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, that boy Ben Richards, he's one mean motherfucker."
That's great.
Good for her,
That's
man.
awesome. So at this point, the Universal Soldiers, they march into town. And yeah, it's like, okay, that was the longest 4 minutes ever. That was
Yes.
way longer than 4 minutes.
A lot has happened. A lot has even happened that we off camera between the last shot and this moment.
This is at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours. So again, this movie plays really fast and loose with their statistics, measurements of time and distance and things of that nature. And it's been even longer because Veronica's gotten JCVD back into the bathroom, gotten a ton of bag of ice.
How the fuck did she get him into the room and into that
I
tub?
have no idea. It's not worth thinking about.
No, it just happened.
But here's a fun thing. So this is the first sign of all the bags of ice.
Yes.
Apparently, they bought all of their ice from a single gas station in Arizona.
Oh.
And the rumor says that the gas station owner got an award from the ice company because of how much ice he sold in that month. Apparently, he was like won some sort of best ice seller of the month award or something like that. I have no idea if it's true. I want it to be true,
I
though.
wanted that to be true. I would have thought for sure that was not real ice, but
No, apparently
I
they
guess
bought,
real ice is probably cheaper than
than doing
fake
like
ice.
fake ice. Yeah. But yeah, apparently they bought out all of the ice in this entire Arizona town. So as she's looking over Jean-Claude Van Damme, monitoring him because he's sitting in ice, he sees that the bullet wound that he got earlier on is actually like healing Wolverine style right before her eyes. It was a good effect.
It was
too.
like a practical effect.
Yeah,
it was cool.
really, really good. She like just can't handle it, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the lobby, make a fucking phone call. I can't take this." Meanwhile, the Universal Soldiers they're closing in on the motel. Veronica is like, she's over all of this at this point, and I love it.
I was just like, why didn't they drop him off closer to the motel?
Right. I know exactly. It's
They
just,
could have
I
been
still
here,
don't
like-
understand.
Well, we know how fast these guys can move, and it's
maybe
getting him from the parking lot into the tub and getting the tub filled with ice would take half an hour
easily,
at least.
Easily. Maybe they got to the town in 4 minutes, but the town is still 6 miles away from the gas station, and they hoofed it on
The
foot.
town is 6 miles long.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Has to be.
So she like comes in, she's not having anything. She knocks the lock off the phone that this guy has the phone underneath. That's why they couldn't use the phone in the lobby before, is it actually was under lock and key.
Yeah.
And she literally just breaks off the lock. and picks it up, and the phone is dead. And she tells him that it's dead, and he has this line, "You women just don't know how to use phones." I'm like,
That dude.
what? You like just really played the creep factor to a T. But by this point, with all of the phones being dead, she gets suspicious and she goes outside to have a look around.
Which I'm not sure that that's very wise, but I do appreciate they gave her like a functioning brain.
Right,
Which is like,
exactly.
something's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Again, she does all of the heavy lifting in this movie. Like the entire movie, the plot momentum keeps going because she's the only one who takes any action over the course of it. But while she's outside, Dolph has her in her sights, but he's ordered to wait until they have eyes on JCVD, which I presume is like in case like she's hiding him somewhere, they can like torture her, I guess.
Well, getting him's got to be the top priority.
Right, exactly. But like, who cares about her?
Well,
right?
once she starts shooting, maybe the police come.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point.
So you better wait.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So in the hotel room, though, Jean-Claude, he's finally cooled down and he's getting dressed again.
It didn't take long. Like, so he's gone from overheating to I'm cooled down enough, and the amount of time it took him to walk from the truck to the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. While he's getting dressed, though, he gets distracted by a Vietnam documentary on the TV. But he starts getting confused because it's talking about how the war ended, and he sees initially a shot of Nixon, but then it cuts to old Nixon giving an interview.
Yeah, right.
And then he looks up and he sees that he hasn't aged at all. I thought that was a great moment.
It was.
I thought that was an awesome moment.
He's like confused, like how come I look the way I remember, I guess, that I looked, but obviously like a lot of time has passed.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was well shot. It was well performed.
Yeah, the more you can tell the story without even words.
Yeah.
Like the more you can just tell it strictly visually, the better.
Yeah.
It's great if you can tell a story like, and the dialogue is just there, just a bonus. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was a really cool moment. So Veronica gets back to the motel room. At this point, Perry orders the Universal soldiers to surround the motel. Van Damme murmurs to Veronica that the war is over, to which she says, "I don't know, maybe not."
Another good line.
Yeah, it was another good line. The Unisols move in as Veronica is saying something weird is going on here. Van Damme hears the sound of rifles being cocked and pulls Veronica down onto the floor, at which point the soldiers open fire and pump thousands of rounds of shotgun shells and bullets into this room.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, he could hear the rifles being cocked, but he couldn't hear them shooting out the phone lines.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I guess, though, we have established that was like 6 to 10 miles away.
Yeah, right. With him, right, exactly.
That's fair.
So Van Damme sees that there's like a bare wall in front of him, and he just throws himself through the wall. And then there's like this young couple who's under the bed. They clearly have been fucking, but appropriately enough, are very surprised at what's going on. Like this has shocked them.
That was our opportunity for some titties.
I know.
And I feel cheated.
No titties in this movie at all.
Just
Not
nothing but
at
Van
all.
Damme ass.
I know, which is fine. But I'm just saying, usually in this era, you get at least one gratuitous
This
titty
was the
shot.
moment.
Yeah, this was the moment, and they didn't deliver. Okay, Woodward then at this point tells a soldier that Van Damme isn't in the next room over.
This won't be the last time I harp on this, but they got some wild technology.
Oh, yeah.
Like they know the internal structure of the building.
Right.
Like they know when he's changed rooms inside.
Right, exactly. But hey, I mean, it needs to happen. So the technology is what it needs to be, Kevin. It is what it needs to be. So Van Damme tells the couple in bed, duck and cover, which they take to mean just cover themselves with the blankets and get no lower on the ground. And the soldiers continue to just lay waste to the hotel 3 feet above where anybody could be hit, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
No one thinks to shoot lower than 3 feet above the ground. And so as long as you stay below 3 feet, everybody is fine. Van Damme looks back at Veronica and tells him to follow him. And then he proceeds to then throw himself through 2 more walls in succession. Bullets continue to fly. But at this point, Jean-Claude looks up and he sees that the last wall of the building is just rows and rows of cinder blocks. The scientist Garth is on the truck. He, again, magic
That's what I'm saying.
technology.
It knows what the walls are made of.
Right. And this is like, look, we got him trapped. This next wall that he's in front of is made of cinder blocks. And so the Universal soldiers are ordered to move in. As Tiny Lister comes in, he stops and he looks at the couple from the bedroom who mercifully have not been killed, but they're clearly not his target. So he,
But are you leaving witnesses?
yeah, I mean, apparently he is. Well, okay, I'll
I
still
thought
man
it'd
this
be
a
under
little bit.
orders. Like, we're killing everybody.
Yeah, but I didn't hear like maybe they
They didn't order them
They didn't
to.
order to do
Yeah,
them to
no,
do
they didn't
it.
do that. They would,
Yeah.
but they would have ordered them to.
They
I
definitely
think.
would have. Yeah, kill everyone on sight, no question. But although this elaborate murder plot about the cameraman has now literally been destroyed because the hotel room that they found the cameraman in is now riddled with bullet holes.
You think it was this same hotel?
Oh, I guess.
I thought it was another hotel in another town.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know.
No,
But I don't know that.
You're almost certainly right. I was like,
I think they would have waited
Yeah,
to
I think-
put
I
that
think
news
you're
out,
right.
to put the story out until after they had.
yeah, I
done
think you're
that.
right. I think it's another hotel room. So I walked that one back. I apologize to the movie.
I don't know if it makes any more sense, but sure.
Nonetheless,
We'll give 'em a
So anyway, so back to the couple in bed. Tiny Lister doesn't see anybody, so he continues moving on. But as soon as he moves on, we see that both Veronica and Jean-Claude are underneath the beds because a gun barrel comes out from underneath the covers and goes, do you have your keys? And he's like, reaches over. Yes, he hands them to her. They get out. And then Veronica's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she like keeps apologizing and she backs out of the room.
I do feel like if there was 4 adults under the covers,
You would
that would be
notice.
pretty noticeable.
Yeah.
But sure.
But whatever. We're going to go with it. I mean, Tiny is a mindless automaton at this point.
Yeah.
What does he know?
Well, there's more to talk about on that later. Like, what exactly are these things?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll save that though.
We'll get there. So they take the keys and they find out that the keys belong to a 57 Buick Roadmaster, another very old car, but this is a classic though.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
And they spin out and they drive off into the night. Garth sees this though and says that they're leaving the motel. The soldiers then like pop out of the motel. They start shooting, but they escape as the bullets are just like flying by. He drives right through the lobby of the motel.
Yes. That was a nice moment because the motel guy is like such a despicable piece of shit.
Yeah. And Dolph looks very pissed again. So take a drink. Yeah.
That's his one and only expression so far.
Yeah, exactly. So Perry grabs Woodward, pulls him outside, and like has him inspect the scene to see what's going on. Now, I didn't call this out a couple minutes ago, but part of the sleazy way that the hotel manager was being sleazy was by like part of the nickel and diming him. Like there's a $20 security deposit.
Right.
And his mom at this point goes, $20 security deposit, huh?
I feel like they would never let these people live.
Oh,
right?
no, they'd already be dead. Absolutely be dead.
So there's no sign of like the town's actual police, which I
Right.
assume it has.
Right, exactly. There's no witnesses at this point. Just take care of them. They're loose end.
Yes.
You don't need loose ends.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so Woodward is in the hotel room and he's surveying it and he sees the bathtub full of ice and he marvels that he realizes, oh my God, this automaton isn't so much of an automaton. He knew what was going
Okay.
on and was trying to cool himself down.
Yeah.
This doesn't bode well.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way, man. And on that point, and on that note, we're gonna call it for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was a
Section. A lot happened.
Action packed, yeah.
Oh man, I
So-
love this movie.
No, it's fun. I had a good
It's
time
as
with
good
it.
as I remember it being when I
Yeah.
was like a 10 or an 11 or 12-year-old, whatever.
I agree. Some of these movies we watch again, and I'm like, ooh, I have a very different sense of this movie than I used to. But this one is basically exactly as I remember it.
Yeah, it's a solidly well-made movie. Good
Yeah.
story,
Yeah, yeah.
compelling. Yeah.
All right.
I'm here for it.
All right. Well, that'll wrap us up for episode 2. We'll be back next week
Yeah.
with episode 3.
Well, thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to anyone who's listening to us on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not listening to us there, check out the podcast network because there's lots of cool stuff.
We've guest
going on
starred
there.
a couple of times.
I think
and
there's a
we've had
whole
guests.
Van Damme podcast. There's a whole Lundgren podcast. So there's probably more Universal Soldier content going on over there.
Our friend Katie famously is a huge Dolph fan. She was with us on Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Yeah, we should have had her on for this because I feel like she would have liked this one because
Yeah.
both the dudes were looking pretty sweet. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah. And we'll be back next week because there's a lot more Universal Soldier to go through before we make it to the end.
So much more.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'm
We'll
looking
be
forward
back.
to it.
Yeah.
We will be back.